are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
After turning in an average performance at the Combine, his pro day was a last-chance effort to show off his athleticism. He kicked off the day by running his 40 time in just under 5 seconds. Nothing special, but what scouts were most impressed with was his 10-yard split. He tested faster than most other linemen in the draft. At the sound of the gun, he was out of his stance and passed the 10-yard marker in around 1.5 seconds. That's the kind of burst that coaches love to see from their big guys. Also told, he showed great bend in the knees and his footwork was sharp during drills. One GM told me he looked like the most complete lineman in the class, and it's no surprise he's already been picked up. He should be a solid anchor for this team in the future.
Broncos are going with Avery. Adam, did they go in the right direction?
He's a Heisman winner that got a lot of recognition this season for not just dominating as a receiver, but also as a shutdown defender. His dual threat ability is rare to come by in the modern era of college football, and man, was it fun to watch him all season. He'll probably be focusing on just one position going forward, but the team has the benefit of making that choice based on its scheme and needs. He's going to be an interesting rookie to watch, and he has the potential to have a huge impact for this team early in his career.
The Packers are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
He's a durable lineman who set a team record for consecutive starts, never missing a game throughout a decorated 4-year college career. Ross Tucker praised his footwork leading up to the Combine, where he did not disappoint, solidifying as the draft's top offensive line prospect. He has the potential to be the cornerstone of this offensive line for years to come and should provide consistent protection for a franchise quarterback. This is a great pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trade. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Hold on now. This pick is trading teams.
The Patriots are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
Anytime you go out and dominate your peers, you're going to turn some GM's heads. That's exactly what he was able to do in college, outrushing some of the best backs in the country, with some projected to be higher draft prospects when the season began. From everything I've heard from various sources across the league, many GMs consider him a back that can handle the ball 25 to 30 times a game and grind out those tough yards late in the game. This could be the beginning of a very special career.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. Adam, what can you tell us about the Chiefs' newest player?
He was a great runner in college, but a combination of his size and lack of elite speed had some scouts not entirely sold on him being a great pro prospect. He beat the odds and is getting drafted here, and I think if you go back to his pro day, you'll see why. Matt Miller wasn't sold on him until then, and he told me it was the way he performed in each drill that changed his mind. The kid competes and competes and competes some more. His effort levels at his pro day were through the roof, and the numbers he posted tell the story. The team wasn't willing to pass him up, and I think it made a wise decision to go with its gut and take him.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
Okay, Reed is now off the board, Adam. Tell us what you know.
I'm not surprised to see him taken with this pick, given he was probably one of the most dominant defensive linemen in college this season. His combination of athleticism and set of pass rush moves gave college offensive linemen fits and gave him a leg up on the rest of the competition. Pass rushers are at a premium in the NFL these days, and when someone with his talent is available, you need to take him. If his performance this season is any indication, he has the potential to be a playmaker on the defensive line for years to come.
Ravens pick is in. Let's go to Adam with more on Curry.
After a string of injuries his junior year and what looked like more of the same his senior year, he made the decision to leave the team. It was a difficult choice to make, but after consulting with the trainers and coaches, it seemed like the best long-term option. His body needed more time to heal from past injuries, and opting out of his senior year helped him make a complete recovery in preparation for the draft. So even though there wasn't a lot of recent tape on him, he did put on a good show at the Combine, convincing scouts he hadn't lost a step. Some teams were concerned with his competitiveness after foregoing that final year of eligibility, but at least one team was confident enough to pick him up. Now we'll see if this team can keep him healthy and on the field.
The Browns are now on the clock. Now that the Cowboys have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about him.
He had an average day at the Combine, but something a few different scouts pointed out was his lack of speed in the 40. He ran an average time for an offensive lineman, but the big area of focus for guys his size is the first 10-yard split. It took him almost 2 seconds to get out of his stance and across the first 10 yards. This is a good measure of how quickly a lineman can get out of his stance and get downfield. Looking at what he did at Indy, there's some concern as to how fast he can get to the second level while run blocking. This is an area where improvement can be difficult, but we'll see how he does it for his team.
The Bills are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. Now that the Texans have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more.
It's a tough pill to swallow when you are doing everything you can to prepare for the Combine and you push yourself to the point of injury. That was his case just 2 months ago. And once he was injured, it was goodbye to pre-draft evaluations for him. His draft stock may have taken a hit, but it didn't stop this team from picking him up. He should be good to go before camp, and it's great to see someone take a chance on him.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
A torn Achilles tendon almost dashed his NFL dreams, but through pure determination and will, he found a way to rehab and impress scouts at the combine. He was able to make strong cuts and doesn't look as if he's lost any speed as a result of the injury. Even with the success he's currently enjoying, there's significant concern about him doing too much too fast. Count on this training staff continuing his rehab to make sure he's at 100% before he sees the field. He's a significant investment, and I can't see them rushing him back until he's truly ready.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.